Hey, what's up? It's Jake from Nimbus DevOps, and I am learning Kubernetes. Today, we're going to talk about node affinity. I'm also going to hint on the relationship between node affinity and taints and tolerations. So as the documentation suggests, you can use any of the following methods to choose where Kubernetes schedules specific pods. Node selector, affinity, node name, and then we've also messed with taints and tolerations. I went over node name already, and that's where you skip the scheduler altogether and just straight up tell the pod which node to go on. But let's take a look at node selector. Node selector is actually the simplest recommended form of node selection constraint. And all you have to do is specify the node labels on the node and then the node selector, and then it will match the label to the node and simply put the pod on the right node. However, affinity kind of expands the type of constraints that you can define. Affinity is a more expressive way of doing this. A node selector will take everything from the labels and stick it on that node. With node affinity, you can say that you prefer to do something, but it's not exactly required. Let's take a look at what node affinity actually looks like. Here in the documentation, you can see that underneath this pod spec, you would actually put an affinity, the affinity type, which is node affinity in this case, and then you have two options. Like I said, you can require during scheduling or you can prefer during scheduling. Either way, it's going to be ignored during execution in this case. So what that means is that it's going to follow these rules when the pod is scheduled, but if there's already a pod running on that node, it's not going to evict it. Whereas if you added a taint and the pod did not have a toleration, it would be evicted. And the expression match goes like this. It takes the key and places it here, and then gives you an array of values that you can match, and it uses an operator to determine what kind of match it is. There are several different operator options. You have in, not in, exists, and does not exist. I'll provide all of the documentation in the description of this video so you can look at the differences between the different operators, but it should be fairly obvious. So again, at a high level, that's it. That's all you need to know right now. And if you have any questions, please let me know. My name is Jake with Nimbus DevOps, and I am learning Kubernetes.